extra boost on. Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is Will, and we're in the Evo today. We're going to do a little car shopping, and I thought it would bring up a good opportunity to kind of go over just some quick tips of things that you can do to help yourself. I came up with 3 easy things to keep in mind. First, unless this is some sort of rare exotic car like a Porsche GT3 RS, you should not be paying sticker, and you certainly should not be paying over sticker. I'm looking at you, Civic Type R people. There's a lot of information out there about invoice and this and that. The thing is, it's not that simple. It doesn't matter what they pay, and it doesn't matter they say they're making or losing on a car. What matters is what the market is saying. You know, MSRP is manufacturer suggested retail price. The fact of the matter is, if Ford or GM or BMW or whomever makes a car and sells it for $30,000, but nobody's willing to pay $30,000, then it's not worth $30,000, even if it is new. Our Focus ST stickered for, I think it was just a hair over $30,000. We didn't pay anywhere near that, and it's not because I'm like this master negotiator. I simply got on the forums. You know, if you wouldn't shut the door, I wouldn't have to come open it. Yeah. I checked the Focus ST forums. I may have even found like some Reddit threads or something. I don't know. But, you know, look around depending on the car and see what people are actually saying they're paying for it. Now, keep in mind that sometimes people don't actually know what they paid for their own cars. Nowadays, with cheap airlines and everything else, you know, and new cars. I mean, a new car is a new car, especially with a warranty and everything. It costs not even $1,000 to ship a car or a few $100s to fly. So if your dealers around you, for whatever reason, won't budge off 30 grand for a car, but there's dealers 3 states away that are selling them for 25, well, just hop on a plane and fly out there or pay to have it shipped. Or use that as a negotiating tactic. Hey, you guys want 30. I got a dealer here that I don't even have to negotiate with that's going to give it to me for 25. Yeah, I got to pay to ship it, so that's going to cost me like $700-800. So how about you guys sell me yours for 26? What are you doing? No, not getting on my lap. We're in Florence, and it is like there's like a handful of areas in the city that are highly concentrated amounts of car dealerships, and I'm sure your cities are the same way. This happens to be one of them, so I didn't see anything online necessarily, but I figured it'd be worth just kind of driving through here and just see if anything pops out at me. I'm not going to drive something just for the sake of driving it, but if it's something I'm interested in or find unique or, you know, whatever, then yeah, definitely find something. Love to find, like, obviously another Evo, an STI, Type R, a Focus RS, something along those lines. Probably not, but we can always hope. But before we drive around just endlessly, let's go ahead and check and see if anything's updated today. Nope. I wish I could say that me being pulled over, looking up cars on my phone was a unique experience for the video, but it is not. This is pretty much how I always do things. I don't spend a lot of time driving around, but when you're looking for very specific cars, sometimes you have to. Evos especially. The Evo that I bought last, the Evo 10, it never hit online. I bought it before it was even like checked into their inventory. And that happens a lot, so sometimes you just kind of got to do this. Number 2, and this is going to be a hard one for most people, I know, but you have to ignore the monthly payment. Yes, I get it. Monthly payments are great for budgeting. You should know what the monthly payment is. You can pull up Credit Karma for free and see your credit. Most of the time, you can go to a bank's website and see like what APRs they're offering. So generally what I will do is I'll look at my credit, you know, make sure nothing crazy is going on. And, you know, I've dealt with my bank enough. I know that anything over like a 710 or 720, they consider the best APR. So at that point in time, if my credit is that high, which sometimes it is, then I know like, okay, I can pretty much bank on the lowest APR. If it's not that high, which I don't think it is right now, then I usually will just pick a number that I think will be adequate, and I like to estimate real high. So let's say the lowest APR they offer on a particular car is 3%. Then I might, when I'm factoring it in my mind and on calculators, I might put in like 5.5, 6%. Because on most cars, it's not really going to make that much of a difference anyways. I mean, on a $30,000 car, the difference in a monthly payment between 3% and 5% really isn't that big of a number, to be completely honest. You don't ever want to tell them you want to stay under X monthly payment, because you think you're telling them they have to get it below a number, but really what you're telling them is they can go as high as that number and maybe a little bit over. Because if you tell them $400 a month and they get you to like $410, oh well, that's pretty close. But what did they throw in there? So easiest way to throw them typically off their game is to completely ignore the monthly payment. That being said, when I'm sitting there negotiating and going back and forth with price, I could look at my wife and say, well, if we can get it for 24, it'll be about this much a month. And if we can get it for 23, it'll be about this much. And knowing, sales tax and all that stuff factored in, I was pretty close. You can get pretty close. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. Even with leases. Leases are a whole different animal. Leasing, that's that's a mess, but you can do it. Now these I would actually love to drive, but they are so far out of the price range, and I would want to drive a Quattrofolio. I think that's how you say it. Quattrofolio? I think it's Quattrofolio. Nothing like Kia or Alpha, Fiat, whatever, I don't know what they are. The dealership is. Nothing at Volkswagen, nothing at Mazda. So heading back the other way, we've got, I think there's a Honda and a Toyota, and then maybe some like mom and pop shop. Bay Civic with the Hoonigan sticker. I think he keeps trying to like mess with me, and it just ain't gonna happen, buddy. Not through here. Or with you. Alright. Honda, let's see. It's definitely one of the larger dealerships as far as seems like used cars. That's where my buddy used to work, actually. He does not though anymore. Could have just texted him and been like, hey, anything cool? It'd have been like, yeah, we have a Civic Sport. No. Plain Jane 3 Series. Seeing a bias towards Hondas. TL. We know how much the wife loved that.
No, it was horrible.
All right, on to the next one. And then I'm gonna call it quits for the day. It's getting way too hot. And with intermittent AC, it's just not good enough. BRZ or something. 86, whatever they are. I was so distracted, I'm not sure I caught that on camera. I think that's gonna do it for our car shopping today, so no test drives. Nothing exciting for the video, sorry. I mean, I could drive like a Corolla if you guys want, but I don't think any of us want that. See if we can get this BRZ. There it is. Okay, lastly, the finance office. This is dangerous. You're tired, you've been out in the sun or in the cold, you've been on test drives, you've been going back and forth with the salesman, you probably skipped lunch, you're hungry, and you think, okay, we're done. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna sign some papers and get out of here, and that's where they're gonna get you. The first thing I will say about the finance office is do not buy anything in that room you did not plan to buy previously. They're gonna try to sell you all sorts of things. They're gonna try to sell you gap insurance. They're gonna try to sell you extended warranties.
Rust-proofing, transport charge, keys. Keys? They're gonna start it.
You name it, they're gonna try to sell it to you. I'm not necessarily saying there's anything wrong with some of these things, but this is not the time to make that decision. Like I said, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're mentally. You don't need to be making decisions like this. You should have thought of these ahead of time. If you get to a point where you're like, man, I completely forgot about thinking about this stuff. You know what? It's okay. You can say, you know what? I need some time to think about this. I'm not saying I'm not doing the deal. I just need time to think about XYZ product that you're saying I should get. There are scenarios where gap insurance or an extended warranty may be useful to some people. This really isn't the best time to make that snap decision. And lastly, this is one of the things that even I wasn't quite aware of until not too long ago. And that is they can change your APR. They may approve you for a better rate than the dealership actually gives you. The dealership will come back and say, hey, we can get you 60 months at 3.2%. And you're like, man, that's good. I was hoping, 3's the best. I was 3.2, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm good with that. But what they didn't tell you was that the bank would have actually done it for 3. So where's that extra 2% going to them? Or 0.2% in this case. If you have any doubt at all, when they come back with something, just call the bank. Call them yourself. Maybe that's just around here. Maybe certain states have different laws. I don't know. Just be mindful that you need to check all that stuff. On my way home, I guess we could stop here real quick, although I'm positive they won't have anything I can afford. Can you see it? Accidentally did a slight burnout while trying to beat somebody. That's hilarious. By knowing your budget, you stay away from dealerships like this. Audi R8 V10, Porsche 911. Alright, sorry BRZ, we found some new cooler cars for the day. But, yeah, we won't be driving these. Oh, safe. Oh, shoot, if it's a good deal, might as well. Dang, I didn't have the camera on. This guy leaving in his AMG E63 pulled over just to tell me nice Evo. It's nice that just because people are in like high-end cars, they're still just like appreciate cars though. It's not about the dollars. But it looks like it's owned. Apparently I just need to keep the camera recording in this dealership because there's just stuff everywhere. C63S AMG. Wouldn't be a bad daily. Oh, I like that color. That is nice. That's the one. Hopefully the mic's not picking up the AC too much, but I gotta keep it on. It's too hot. Kind of like the off-white color. It's kind of nice. Or maybe it's just dirty. GTR. I think that's what that's called. Raptor. Yeah, like I said, nothing I can afford here, but it's fun to drive through. R8 again. Yeah, there goes the AMG guy. If you guys are going out looking for cars, know your numbers ahead of time. Don't get focused on the monthly payment and pay extra special attention when you are in that finance office. With that, appreciate you guys as always. Subscribe to follow along. If you have any specific questions you want to ask me that you don't want like public comments, you can DM me on Instagram. Pups, Enzo, I don't know where Lotus went. If you want to follow them, they also have their own YouTube page. Other than that, appreciate you guys as always, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'll say bye. I say bye. Say bye. Say bye. You're one and only.